Good evening. Absolutely terrible news over the weekend, but the markets are actually eating that uncertainty quite well, I think, all things considered. Let's get into what I see the situation looking like right now and where I see this potentially going. So first of all, let's start with Bitcoin, of course, because we are currently trading at a price of $69,405. That means we're actually up on the day pretty large, up about 6.52%. You can see it is pretty much a couple of big green candles on the hourly chart here. Yes, we have seen liquidations going through, but not in a massive fashion, all right? About $180 million worth of short positions liquidated over the last 12 hours. This kind of reflects the picture that we're seeing in the S&P, right? Bit of a sell-off, and then most of those losses bought up. In fact, we are net up for the day. Of course, this is the first trading day since the weekend, since the US struck Iran on Saturday morning. Now, it's pretty interesting to look at how the markets have taken this on board, and I think, at least for now, it seems that from a market perspective, things are pretty stable. Now, that's not to say that this isn't a hot situation and that this couldn't change at any moment, but at least for the time being, it seems the market has pretty much priced in the risk of this happening to the point where when it does actually happen, it's not a massive disaster. Of course, I'm speaking specifically about the market reaction there, right? The market is taking this news fairly well. But like I say, this is still a hot situation. This still has the potential to become devastating in the markets as well. Trump says there will likely be more US deaths as Iran strikes to continue until all goals are achieved. Yet to see exactly what that means. Live updates. Trump on Operation Epic Fury won't rule out sending US troops into Iran if necessary. But, as I say, at least for now, the situation remains somewhat stable. Once again, looking at the markets in particular. Markets don't like uncertainty, but when everyone knows what's going on and knows what the result of that is, markets are calm. And sometimes you can get the situation where the uncertainty before the bad thing happened was worse in terms of the market reaction than the result of the bad thing actually happening, and now we get to see what actually happens. If that makes sense, if you follow. I think there's two things to consider here, and really that is the knock-on effects that this could potentially have, right? So we have already seen oil prices absolutely spiking on after what's happened. And the reason for this is to do with exports. Okay, oil and gas prices have surged as Iran continues to launch strikes across the Middle East in response to ongoing attacks by the US and Israel. Natural gas prices spiked Monday after Qatar Energy, one of the world's biggest exporters, halted production following military attacks on its facilities. Oil prices also jumped, with the global benchmark Brent crude briefly hitting $82 a barrel on Monday after at least three ships were attacked near the Strait of Hormuz at the weekend. Now, the Strait of Hormuz is a channel through which apparently about 20% of the world's oil and gas is shipped, and that is pretty much in shutdown at the moment. Not a lot of oil able to move through the Strait of Hormuz, and as reported here as well by the BBC, ships literally being attacked. What this means for markets more broadly, looking a few steps ahead, is basically playing into inflation, right? Price of oil goes up, price of production goes up in many cases, prices of logistics go up, and that will most likely pass on to higher inflation. That can potentially lead to more restrictive policy, which can potentially lead to less liquidity in the markets. Less liquidity going into risk assets like equities and like crypto. That is the potential knock-on effect for that. We do have economic data out this week which will point towards the inflation situation right now, okay? Potentially not incorporating, we're not necessarily going to see a trickle down from that just yet. In fact, we're almost certainly not, but this will basically paint out the picture for the next step. So fifth, we've got, never mind about that, March the 6th, February employment situation, right? Jobs reports. And we're going to see ADP data and we're going to see Challenger data out this week, which will give us an insight into the jobs market, and which will give us a broader insight into the state of the US economy. But do watch out for this, right? Higher oil prices, pretty much a given, and higher oil prices will play into inflation, making those numbers look worse, making those numbers look stickier, and potentially leading to more restrictive policy and less liquidity, less money flowing into the markets. If you are someone like me that enjoys investing into the crypto markets, into lower prices, that isn't necessarily something that you would consider terrible in the immediate sense with regard to the opportunities that brings to invest in more Bitcoin. But you wouldn't be alone in that. Look at this. Michael Saylor, once again, buying more Bitcoin. Michael Saylor's strategy adds 3,015 BTC as Bitcoin holds steady despite the US-Iran war. Making another weekly Bitcoin purchase. We usually hear about these after they've happened. Obviously, Strategy bought 3,015 Bitcoin between February the 23rd and March the 1st. This marks the company's 10th consecutive weekly purchase. MSTR stock is down less than 1% in pre-market trading as Bitcoin holds steady. An SEC filing shows that the company acquired 3,015 Bitcoin for $204.1 million at an average price of $67,700 per Bitcoin. Now, it means he was buying into the end of last week. And just bring up that average price again. So we're looking at 67,007. So he's a little bit higher, to be honest, than the average pricing towards the end of last week, which is to be expected. I believe they are buying this OTC, typically trying to minimize market impact, but that is pretty much in line with what we've been seeing. Average price now for their acquisitions in total up to 75,000, or down to, I should say, 75,985 Bitcoin dollars per Bitcoin, just shy of 76,000. And as we know, I've been beating this drum for the longest time. These accumulator addresses have been shown to have been buying into this sell-off. Just looking at the liquidation maps right now, you can see that plenty of people have jumped long into this pump, into these green candles on leverage as well, looking at about a $2.89 billion long side liquidation risk down at 61,750 on the daily time frame. Remember, that is aggregate data. Still, if we zoom out to the 30-day time horizon, you can see the longs creeping up a bit, but looking at ultimately more shorts in the market versus long. And this is reflective of obviously the state of things, right? The price of things, but also the fear and greed index. You can see 15, extreme fear in the markets, which makes sense. So I wouldn't read too much into this pump. Okay, basically what we are seeing is a response to more certainty, which is ironic, I know, because there is war happening in the Middle East, but that's better in the eyes of the markets, at least right now, than the threat of war in the Middle East, which is what we had previously. Okay, still plenty of people getting in leverage long into this. Once again, that is reducing over time. The amount of leverage in the market is reducing over time, which is a good thing. It means we're ultimately getting closer to where we can realistically expect some sort of bottom. Can't give you a price, can't give you a time, but I can say we're getting closer to that. But I would expect some of these longs that have hopped in today on these green candles to be swept out. Potentially looking ahead, okay, the situation is hot, right? Things are changing. It's looking like this is going to continue. So that is the first risk. The second risk is the knock-on effect that this is likely to have into the oil market, into inflation, into policy. Potentially more restrictive policy would lead towards less liquidity in the markets. But as ever, we can see big players buying more Bitcoin, MicroStrategy being one of them. 3,015 BTC purchased last week. And there we go. That is the state of things right now. I wouldn't be looking to play this in either direction just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a cool off from this particular pump. Just from a technical perspective, we have, I believe, just broken this high that we put in on the 25th of February. Yeah, just by a couple of dollars there. So if we're looking at a potential turnaround of this, right? Low here, high here, higher low here, slightly higher high here. One could argue technically we're entering into an uptrend, or we're in technically an uptrend only just since this low here, put in from 26th of February. But once again, I wouldn't be looking at that as a particularly strong case for getting long into this now, particularly not from where we are right now. Maybe if we can continue to reject lows down here in that 62.5K region, maybe then there's a case to be made. Maybe the macro situation changes, but at least for right now, I'm not expecting this pump to hold up. But as always, that is purely my opinion, and I'm sharing it with you just for simple entertainment purposes. But thank you so much for watching. Plenty more to come. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.